All right, welcome back, System Warriors, to another edition of Pedal to the Metal, special year-end edition. This will be our last edition, our last podcast, excuse me, of 2014 due to the holidays, and in case in before you all his finals. Sucks to be him. But anyway, we got the Master Shredder with us as always. The Heroic. What's up, dude?
Nothing, man. Having a good night. I was just no more than an hour ago. I was chilling on my couch with my family. We were watching a classic, dude, The Muppets Christmas Carol. When's the last time you seen that?
When I watched Ghost Dad.
Oh, Ghost Dad's amazing. Bill Cosby is a ghost raping people. Anyways, bad joke.
Hey, it's better than
Terrible
Pineapple
joke.
Express.
Signs were there.
We'll talk about that later.
The signs were there.
But yeah, so I'm laying on the couch, right? I got my kid with me, and we're like, sitting there watching the show, dude. The kid straight out pukes all over the living room, everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere, all over the living room. So that's how my evening roll into Pedal to the Metal started, with cleaning up vomit. So everything's good here in Massachusetts, man.
Rug doctor steaming mad at dirt, baby, or puke.
Yeah. Ugh,
So hey, who do we have with us? I'll explain one of our guests. We have In Before You All. What's up, dude?
Doing pretty good.
So
Fine.
she wanted to come on. We had a little heated exchange over the last 2 weeks about a few things. So we're gonna work some of that out in tonight's show, but we'll get on to that in a little bit. Who else do we have, Heroica?
Well, we've got the Golden Element XL on tonight for his very first podcast.
Yeah, we love it.
Yep. What's up, dude?
I'm good, man. Just here trying to bring the Manticore, perspective a little bit. You guys are hating on Nintendo and PC a little bit, so
All right. Fair enough. Fair
just
enough.
stick up for those guys a bit. So,
That's good.
There we go.
It's called the System Wars.
You don't have a leg to
Yeah.
stay on. You can maybe say something, but anyway.
We'll see. We'll see.
We got another first timer on tonight on Pedal to the Metal for the first time. We've had, and correct me if I hope I'm saying this right. We've got on Zasimic.
That's correct. 2-time listener, big-time fan,
Nice.
How that goes, yeah. I'm just here to be the awkward one.
That's okay. We actually, Animal's not on tonight, so that you'll fill in nicely.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. And go ahead, Kyle. Tell us who else we got on
And a
tonight.
returning guest, which we love to have him because he offers great insight, great commentary, and actually talks, which we can go into that later. But we have JG4X Champ, better known as Champ, former System Wars King,
Royalty.
and current
Savior.
fronter of EndlessBacklog.com, where they cover everything video games, podcasts, reviews, and forums. Hit them up if you want to join that up. That's a great board to check out. What's up, Champ?
Not much. Got done with my Christmas shopping today, so was mostly busy.
Great. So anything,
Can't
what's
complain too much.
anything special going on in Endless Backlog for the year end? Or you
Yeah, we the forum people decided to do Secret Santa this year. We went through like a whole little thing. I think I invited you guys, but I think I got to you guys too late because that thread basically locked up at that point.
yeah,
Yeah,
but-
Carl,
I saw that about a week too late.
yeah, Carl, he set up the thing on the forum, got everyone's emails, put us in like some weird little roulette thing, and some people won out. I did really well with whoever ended up my Secret Santa because they hooked me up. I know Jim K on our forum really killed it because he got Cook. Backstory here on Cook is building a new PC that's $9,000 worth of money.
Whoa.
And I'm not fucking joking. You can go find that forum. You can go find that thread on our forum. He is getting 3 monitors. The whole fucking works. The man's loaded. So
well,
naturally, as the person who owns the board, I said so. For Secret Santa, I got dibs on Cook. Dibs. No one honored it. Like, I don't understand. Like, people do not respect dibs anymore. Heroica, we're our era, man. It's ending.
Dude, if it's Secret Santa, you're not supposed to know who you got.
I thought dibs overrules that, man.
I think you're bending the rules, Champ. But it is your board, so if it's Secret Santa but Champ gets the iPod at the end, then that's great,
Cook hooked up his person really well. I was just like, I really did go, fuck. I really should have made that a mandatory thing on this one. It's been fun. Otherwise, now that some of the people are returning back from campus and college and getting done with finals, we're going to get back into doing some game nights, probably some Left 4 Dead, because some of the people in our forum haven't ever played that game. So we're probably going to play that. Killing Floor is a big one I'm trying to get going because I'm really excited about the second game, and I have become a bit more of an obnoxious PC gamer than usual. Which, by the way, anyone dissing PC gaming, is that possible?
Yeah.
Come on. But the point is,
No.
like, Killing Floor is supposed to be like this like really hidden gem thing. So, and everybody says, oh, it's a deeper game than Left 4 Dead, and like all those words sound nice to me. But the one time I played the game, I was bored out of my mind. So I blame that on the people I played it with.
Yeah,
so
it's totally true. I gotta set you up with B Pool, man. B Pool is like the master of explaining how games like that work. Like, I think Kyle, was it you and I that played with him the first couple times?
He showed us ins and outs of Warframe.
Warframe and Killing Floor, and like he takes you step by step, explains like every little aspect of what's going on, and it's like you hit the ground running when you play with B Pool.
Hey, champ, remember when you played Left 4 Dead with Frankie? That's where I always love your accent. Yo, Frank.
My boy Frank. My boy Frank. Okay, yeah.
You guys were killing each other in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, with the big table.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead's great for dicking your friends over. I feel like, especially when like the tank comes, you just like let your friend be bait, and you got him, Kyle, you got him, and then you're in the chop already. You've escaped. But like, no, you got this, Kyle. I believe. You're dead now.
You guys take off without me, and I'm dead. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
that sounds like gaming with Kyle. So Kyle, get us into some topics, man. I want to hear from these new guys.
So it looks like
they got to prove themselves on Pedal to the Metal today.
We're representing the Nintendo, thing here. So let's get into that. So yeah, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we were saying how disappointed we were with the Wii U, even with its games here. Champ went on to say that it doesn't excuse, the lack of third-party games as far as the overall system. And then, of course, the latest flop, which will tie into the latest talk there. But so let's go through Zazimic. What do you think about the system overall? What systems do you have, first of all? And then what system...
Well...
Yeah, go ahead.
I do not have a PC. I do not have a PC. I am a Mac owner.
Okay.
I have an iMac and everything, so I stay away from building the PC and all that jazz. And I haven't really had one ever in my life, so all that stuff, don't know. But as for what I own, 3DS, the Vita, PS4, and a Wii U, and then back systems, lawn, whatever, till like the NES. That was my first console, so nothing beyond that. But PS4, Wii U for consoles. I'm a big Wii U fan. I don't have a lot of game time, so I probably game about 20 hours if I can during a week.
That's pretty good.
And yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. So between the two consoles and then handhelds when I can, it's decent. So I've never understood, I guess, the whole Wii U doesn't have anything to play unless you're one of the people that can game 40 to 80 hours a week, like so many people. But that's a whole nother discussion. But I'm a fan, like I said.
Do you like in Nintendo's first-party offerings?
Yes, Pikmin is never one I really played. I do have Pikmin 3 though that is on my backlog, but Zelda is one of my big franchises. I think that's what I just recently updated my SIG to now. Super Mario 3D World was a great game. I thought New Super Mario Bros. U was the best 2D Mario in a long time. But yeah, so I think the first party is fantastic. I'm a big fan of what they have.
Now, what do you think about their having that system as your only game system? Would you be happy with it?
No, I don't think so. No, it's you look at what the other systems are offering, and in terms of multiplats, like it really is that thing of it's lacking those multiplats, and if it had support from the developers, so say we got another Assassin's Creed, like if Rogue was on the system, if like Ubisoft got the support, even though Rogue was somewhat of a flop and wasn't all that great, some people may say otherwise, it would help. It would definitely help. It was nice having Batman Arkham City on there, and Arkham Origins, that was on there too, although that game was kind of meh. It was nice having those games, so not seeing them continue on there hurts the system in the long run, but Nintendo is able to produce enough content over all of their studios that it really does make up for it. But when you're seeing stuff like, even though Destiny flopped, or you're getting Arkham Knight coming, and it's it's hard to say that would be a good system to have as your
So
only
now
one.
with I'll go on to Golden Element here. So like if you were talking to Reggie and of course there's the PR spin, which all the studios, all the Microsoft has Phil and Sony now has who took Jack's spot? I don't even know who's the mouthpiece, whoever. They can spin it any way they want, but would Reggie be able to sell you as that's the only console you need?
For me, like, I'm glad I don't have to make that choice. I own all the consoles. I have a high-end gaming rig, and to me, if I had to pick two, it'd be PC and Wii U, just because the PC you get the best version of all those multiplats, and Nintendo has more to offer exclusive-wise than the PS4 and Xbox One does right now. So, I mean, by itself, no way, because there's too many good multiplayer games. I mean, you get your Grand Theft Autos, your Call of Duties, your Assassin's Creed that are not coming to Nintendo consoles, but Nintendo has enough with the platformers, the Mario Kart, the Bayonetta, the Pikmin, where there's so many unique experiences on that console that if you choose not to go with the Wii U, you're missing out on more than you're getting with the PS4.
So maybe Roka take this over and you can comment here. Roka, why don't you have a Wii U right now?
That's a good question. There's certainly been a halfway decent stable of games, I guess, that have been trickling out, but nothing. If I'm being honest, nothing yet that has caught my eye. I did like the look of the new Zelda game. I don't want to say, I think it's a little generic to say I'm all set with a franchise, because I mean, anytime a Mario game could come out, could get a new Mario Sunshine in another year, something that kind of wakens you up to the franchise again. But like, for me, it's the juice is not worth the squeeze yet. It's still too expensive to me. There's still not enough material on it for the amount of gaming that I do that is going to pull me away from some of the offerings that are on like the PS4, the Xbox One. Right now, I'm only rolling with the PS4 as far as Gen 8's concerned. I'm just not there yet as far as like feeling that it's gonna pay dividends on my dollar.
You got a Vita and 3DS too, so I would consider those Gen 8s.
Yeah. I mean, I've been loving the Vita. To be perfectly honest, like being part of that play where I can bounce a lot of games from my PS3 to my PS4 to my Vita, take it around the house, things like that. Actually, you'd be surprised in how often I actually do that. But I think that is actually one of the coolest advancements in Gen 8 so far, is the fact that I can take my games all over the house with me. As far as like the handhelds are concerned, I mean, I started playing Shovel Knight on the 3DS. The game's amazing. I'm almost kind of feeling like I want to wait for like the console release. I almost want to blow it up on the bigger screen and play it, because I guess is it just PlayStation consoles in 2015? Is that what they said?
Yeah. I think so. I'm not really sure.
It. So, it's. I hate to say this, and maybe we can get John's perspective in before your all's perspective after I'm done. But I'm a little a lot of the Nintendo franchises are not grabbing at me to the point where I'm ready to plunk down $250 or whatever on on a Wii U. So I don't know. I'm not feeling it yet. John?
If you don't want Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, like...
Yeah, I don't want those games.
I don't know what to tell you. Like...
Yeah.
Now, to be fair...
Some of the best games that are out there, and if you've just decided that you don't even want to try them, like... There's not a whole lot I can say to convince you otherwise.
Well, I've played plenty of Smash Brothers, and I've played plenty of Mario Kart over the years. I would say I didn't really jump in on the N64 with those franchises, but the GameCube I did. And I was a day one GameCube buyer. I bought that over the PS2 and the Xbox when that came out. But there's not enough there. I think Champ actually touched on it the last time when we were doing our Nintendo hate cast. was the fact that like games like Mario Kart frustrate me because I don't feel like it's a skills-based game. I feel like I'm in first place and I'm just sitting there waiting for the fucking shell to come hit me in the ass and ruin my entire game.
Socialism, the video game.
What did you call it? Oh, socialism, the video
Socialism, the video game.
I mean,
true.
you
That
could
game is
make
the
that.
epitome of let's treat
But what-
everyone like it's all egalitarian, like everyone's created equal.
Mm.
So rubber band AI, let's have all these things. So if you're whooping someone's ass at that game, you're going to end up getting punished. And
Punished
like
for it.
that's
Well,
and,
well,
and
there's-
here's what bothers me. If you point out to people that you think Mario Kart is fun, but there are better racers because there's more depth and more skill involved in racers. Like, oh, how could you say that? Nintendo polished. The Nintendo gameplay. It's like, no, this isn't even like debatable. When you would make like, no one in their right mind would argue Little Big Planet's mechanics over Mario because Mario's levels actually ask you to get good, bitch. Like, after a while, Mario Galaxy takes the gloves off and said, no, get good, bitch. Like, learn to long jump. You know what I'm saying? Mario Kart, in comparison to other racers, is the game not telling you to get good, bitch. In comparison to stiffer competition. And if you compare just to arcade racers, Nintendo has made F-Zero before. That is white knuckle.
Awesome
You
game.
better get good, bitch from the opening of the game. And then there's Sonic All-Star Racing, which isn't that old and honestly doesn't have the bullshit Mario Kart
Yeah,
has.
no, that's a good game.
And it's not a surprise that that game is good because F-Zero GX developed by that same team.
Oh, okay, that makes sense because F-Zero is amazing. If Nintendo made an F-Zero game, I'd start thinking about it. But John, to give you or Golden Element because I can see you shaking your head, or Zasnick with his Toad avatar. I mean, what do you guys think about what Champ just said?
How can you
There's an
complain about
F-Zero
rubber band
DLC.
AI?
Go ahead, Golden. Go ahead.
There's rubber band AI in all these kart racers. The Sonic and All Stars Racing Transform. There's all kinds of rubber band AI. The items are garbage. The level design isn't as good. The handling isn't as good. And people complain about the roster in Mario Kart. I mean, how many people here played Space Channel 5? How many people know those characters in that game?
That is irrelevant. That is ultimately irrelevant to the
No,
bottom of
that's
the game.
that's
That's
one of
to
the
me,
biggest
'cause to me,
complaints.
hey, to me, that's some superficial shit. If the characters are what's making that game, how good is that game?
No, I'm saying that's one of the biggest
Because
complaints
Bayonetta
against
could have been
Mario Kart.
about the Pope, and it still would have been a great game.
All right, so go ahead, Golden. I want to hear your rebuttal.
Saying like the characters in Mario Kart. That's one of the popular arguments against Mario Kart 8 was the Koopa kids are just throwaway characters. I don't want that. I want people that were in Double Dash or this game, and the other kart racers. I mean, people can't like connect with those characters because so many people haven't played any of those games. So like, there's just a bunch of throwaway characters, and then to say Rubber Band AI. Like, you don't like that in Mario Kart. That's in all kart racers. That's in Drive Club. I mean, it's in Forza Horizon 2. I mean, you're never pulling away. There's always somebody right behind you at all times. So
I agree with Champ.
I just don't
Play
get
those
that.
games on. Play those games with the training wheels off. Play those games with the training wheels off. When they tell you you don't have the brake assist, you don't have the driving line, you don't have all these things, that Rubber Band AI gets thrown out the window because it literally becomes a game about hitting your marks. They are on a set timer at that point. It is a fallacy to say that those games don't have a way for you to play without the Rubber Band AI. And again, the other issue is the very nature of those items creates a game that basically punishes a player for getting good because the coin and the frequency with which you get the coin and the frequency with which people are going to get a red shell completely backstabs a person in first place. And that's not even debatable.
Don't be in first place until the very end.
Also,
Part of the strategy.
Come on, are you serious?
Champ's been telling us that he's been kicking people's ass, and like, I'm just finding this hard to believe because I've put a considerable amount of hours into this game, and my roommate kicks my ass all the time, like consistently, and I'm no slouch at this game. I know how to fire hop and stuff, and like to say that there's. I'm not going to say that it's the most skilled kart racer, but if you are
Wait,
the
hold on,
better
Champ, hold on. Go ahead.
I'm not going to say that it's the most skilled racer, but if you are the better player, you're going to win this game statistically. Like, yeah, one game you might get hit by those items and have it fucked up, but you can't tell me that it's a free-for-all, that everybody is on a level playing field. That's just hyperbole.
Yeah, play online. It's the same
I don't
guys
think
in
I
the top
said
3 most of the
that.
time.
I didn't say the game was completely devoid of skill. Did I not use the words that there are other races out there that are
And I just
quite
said,
challenging
obviously
and
different.
by design better games, but oh my god, if you say that, you're crazy. You're a Nintendo hater. It's like, why am I a hater? No one, if I had said Mario's a better platformer than Little Big Planet, no one thinks I'm insane, because the same fucking logic, when it's used in Mario's favor, is like allowed, because it should be allowed. You're the better game. Mario
So
Kart as a...
what kart racer is better than Mario Kart 8?
I would still argue for Sonic All-Star Racing.
Crash
Because,
Team Racing.
and honestly, I love Crash Team Racing and Diddy Kong for that matter. But your argument
Crash Team
of
Racing?
the...
Going way back. Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
your argument of the characters, I don't think a single one of my complaints was Mario Kart's characters, was it?
Maybe not you.
The characters have no bearing
on the game. Yeah,
A
I'm
lot of
just
people
saying.
complain about it.
Listen, System Wars argues about a lot of dumb shit. I'm merely saying the superficial aspects of these games does not bother me. The fundamental gameplay of Sonic All-Star Racing, I thought it was just as good as Mario Kart, if not better. Frankly, I do think it's better.
I thought the items were throw away and it didn't handle as well. But
To say that it's a socialist game and that everybody's on
I
even
definitely
playing
let me
field.
say about that. It is socialism, the game.
And
There's
that's
some things in
hyperbole.
the game that punish you for getting good at the game.
I'll say this in listening to John talk about the game, about the as far as the technique and the, you know, if you have an investment, and I'm assuming this is what you're saying, is that if you have an actual investment in the game, you know, 10, 20, 30 hours of playing, that you start to just develop better skills at the game, and ultimately, statistically, you're going to finish ahead of the pack if you spend time with the game. If that's what you're saying, then, and I'll admit that I didn't sink 30, 40 hours into Mario Kart on the Wii. I spent several hours with it, but not that much. But like All-Star Racing Transform, the Sonic game, was more approachable from the beginning than Mario Kart games are to me. Maybe if I spend more time with Mario Kart, maybe I'll start to kind of peel back more of the layers, and the game will become a little bit more approachable and less, less socialism. The game, as Champ puts it. But it does. I am going to back up the fact with Champ is that I agree with him into the sense that when I play Mario Kart, I feel like I zoom out to the lead. I'm racing around the track, kicking ass, and I end up in sixth place because I get hit by a fucking shell.
And you're incorrectly using the phrase "kicking ass" because you're obviously not that far ahead.
Well, I feel like I zoom out to first place. I'm doing a great job. Everything's going swell.
Hitting my marks, hitting every lap, perfect, hitting every corner with the boost I need. I hit the jump with the boost and then landed with the boost. I did all the things necessary. But every time I hit Mystery Box, like, I don't even get the decency of getting a banana where I can at least set up traps. I get the coin when I have 10 coins. Which means, after you have 10 coins, the coin is worthless. So then it's like, why do I even have this thing?
I mean, you're unlocking car parts, at least. That counts.
That was actually a really good addition to the game. Because it didn't make... First of all, it allowed a certain play style to come through. Like, I like using bikes. And more importantly, it allowed you to, like, adjust your car to be like, all right, if I give away some top speed, I need that, like, jump off the corner. Like, I need a little bit more handling because I'm messing up on this course. Like, I like that.
Mm.
I mean, there's like a common Mario Kart strategy where you, like, sit back at the beginning, you let everybody go, and then you get your items, you know, catch up on, like, lap 2, then you're passing everybody. I mean...
Is that it?
It's been like that since Mario Kart DS, though. I mean, it's just another strategy. Everyone plays the game a different way.
I mean,
and
this isn't Talladega in NASCAR. I want to play... Like, to me, it's one thing to be like, that's a strategy, but it's ignoring the fact that the most basic thing of just whip their ass from the start actually can be punishment.
Some people win that way. Some people win another way.
Blow off. I'm not playing. We play with El Josa. He's good enough at that game that he whipped our ass every time we played. That said, for the most part, a lot of times you're playing that game and you're like, whatever. Most of the time you get the position you deserve based on your play. But enough of the times, you get a situation where, oh, I got dicked over by 17 red shells because fuck it, that's what. Or you get a blue one. Which
So what do you have to say about track design, music, you know, art design, all this other stuff?
Music's fine. Mario Kart 8 looks
fine.
Great.
It's fine.
Music's fine. It's fine. Okay, well, I'm supposed to say it's the greatest music of all time. Calm down. It's good music. It's okay. Relax. It's good music. Let's calm down with the word fine. God forbid someone's like, okay.
Well, what is Zasmic? What do you think? We haven't heard from you as far as Mario Kart. Are you a big fan?
There's an F-Zero track now for downloadable content. Check it out. Wink, wink for all you F-Zero fans. I think Mario Kart 8 is a ton of fun. I think it's one of the most polished ones. It feels amazing. That first time I played that thing, it was so sharp, so smooth, easy to handle. It looks beautiful on there.
I gotta go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I think it's so much is skill. I mean, I just put in a little bit more time, just because I own the game, and then I have my friends come over who haven't touched the game. It's easy to beat them all the time. I think it's more of a challenge. The game is. Rather, when you're in first place, I think that game's easy. When you're in fourth or fifth or sixth, that game kicks your ass. That is one of the challenges. When you're in the middle, there is no tougher time because you can't come back. You can't
You're just
come
getting
back.
belted.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's so difficult to get out of that spot. It's so hard, so you have to be in first.
Yeah, exactly. You in third place
so
are
crazy.
trading red shells the whole time.
Mm-hmm. It definitely feels that way. I think. What am I going with this? I think that it is a superb kart racer and I think it's a superb racer in its simplicity. It doesn't need to be as extremely competitive as some games. Other games do that. There's enough room in the whole industry that we have this diversity. I think it's wonderful. I think there are things that could be better. There's always room for improvement, and challenge between players, especially online, would be great to see more and less of the rubber banding, less of the items, better item balance. It would be so appreciated. But I think what it does extremely well. But it's not a perfect game by any means.
So fair enough. So John, then moving from Mario Kart into Super Smash Brothers, because I want to touch in these games that you brought up. What am I? Explain to me before you all, John. Explain to me what am I missing out of this edition of Super Smash Brothers? I know it's got the 8 players. What am I missing as a gamer by not jumping into Super Smash Brothers as opposed to the previous iterations of the game and like the current state of Wii U Online? I mean, is the game? When you go play Smash Brothers, is it strictly a couch co-op or a couch type of competitive with your friends, or are you jumping online and playing against other people? Like, tell me what I'm missing, because I've played Smash Brothers. I've dumped probably 20-30 hours over the years into Smash Brothers. I'm not a huge Smash Brothers fan, but like, to me it seems very, very basic in a sense compared to other fighters, which I know that's what it's going for. It's the same button set for each character and all that. I get what the game is about, but what am I missing by not owning a Wii U and jumping into this particular game that I could put the old version of Smash Brothers in my Wii and play?
Could I ask Aurorico real quick?
Yeah.
Did you get the 3DS game? Or did you try it?
I did not. It's okay. Going to be a Christmas present under the tree for my kids.
Got it. Okay.
So I would say that it still has all the same qualities of the old one, where it's an accessible game for a lot of people, but there's an enormously high skill cap. They've included modes where you can change between a competitive version of the stage and the normal version, and there's new characters, new modes. I mean, I don't understand personally, I guess, why you enjoyed the last games but suddenly have no desire to play this one.
Because the last games I enjoyed did not hold my attention for more than the allotment of time that I played. I wasn't hungry to keep turning the game on, and a lot of it stemmed from either I didn't have any buddies come over to play the game with me to kind of get that party sense when I play it, and
so you're playing it alone.
I'm either playing it alone or trying it online or playing with my kids. Like, my kids and I will play it from time to time. I mean,
that's the problem.
So, but that's right there. I mean, you're talking about something though that there's a lot of people that might not be at a point in their life where they're having their buddies come over every week to play Super Smash Brothers. So I guess, could you understand where that game would be kind of like, I'm not really getting together.
If you're just playing your games by yourself, yeah, like I guess the Wii U would have a lot less, but like I know that a lot of the games are simply amazing if you have 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing on any of the other systems, or the other systems just won't be able to compare.
Yep. So, all right, Golden Element, and I don't want to hear Heil because this is it's just sitting on the end of my brain. I got to say. I'm sorry. Golden Element, given what John just said about if you could interact with more people, these games would be better. How much is Nintendo missing with their current online infrastructure? How much enjoyment and fun could these games be more if they had an Xbox Live or PSN type online infrastructure?
I mean, that would be huge. That's my biggest, gripe with Nintendo is if we could get online with Xbox Live or PSN like we could, if Nintendo could, replicate that, it would be huge. I mean, everyone's been screaming for a Pokemon MMO for years. It's just like if they could just do what everyone else is doing, they would run away with it. But they're just stubborn. They're trying to protect, young children from the rest of the internet. Which can we blame them? But games like Smash Brothers, Mario Kart,
BBC.
Yeah, BBCs. Yeah. So I mean, like Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, like the same thing. Like if you're playing Smash by yourself, you're not going to enjoy it the same way as if you have 7 other people at your house, like with this new one. I mean,
it's one of those games where when they kill you, you punch them in the arm, like.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's like playing Towerfall Ascension or like Dive Kick or Windjammers or like any of these games are like it's fun with a bunch of people in your house, but you're playing it by yourself. You're not getting anything out of it. So for me, I mean, Smash is fun and it's good and it's polished. But if you're sitting there by yourself, I mean, I don't know. And then playing online, I mean, it's hit or miss. Your online experience is equal to the person with the slowest internet. So you might play one game and it's flawless. You play another game and it's just, it's a mess. So Nintendo could figure that out. I think they'd be in a much better spot than they are now. But
yeah.
So I agree with you.
So Heil, what do you think, man? Where do we go from here?
And before you all and me have gone mad on the boards about it, but I'm in kind of the same spot he is, and not even trolling. Is I've played the games I guess didn't hold my attention, and for me it's like playing the third, fourth version. I'm getting sick of like Sony games, like when Santa Monica said that. Whoops, you guys there? All right, someone's trying to call.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're
when they announced they're gonna do another God of War, I really enjoyed 1, 2, and even 3, but the last game really didn't grip me that much. And when they said they're working on another one, that really didn't hit me. So part of me is I've played Mario games since the NES days, and there's no. I guess you really could put it the best where there's no like hunger to turn the games on. So I got Mario Kart 8 though, that's fun, but on the other point, whereas I'm not seeing, a huge difference between Mario Kart on the Wii. I mean, if you look, there's different characters, and they have different abilities. You can go up the side of the track, different tracks. But when I play with my daughter, which I bought that game mostly to play with, I don't see any like difference in the quality of time I'm having playing it with one of my kids. So. And last Smash on the Wii was the first game I played, and my daughter really loves that, so that didn't really grip me either. I probably put less than 20 hours with that game, so I don't know. First party Nintendo games are just growing weary of me, and I'm not having as much fun as I once did. So what are you saying before you all? Is that not a legitimate excuse?
I mean, like I said before, obviously I'm not going to convince you.
Yeah, it's personal taste comes into it, but you once. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think that could.
Yeah.
I think that could happen with any system, and it just seems to happen with Nintendo and you.
Yeah, but no, but you question a person's game taste.
All
people that didn't buy the Wii U and played
Why
Smash.
Is it a bias?
You're convinced that anybody that owns a Wii U has to have Smash or they have bad tasting games.
My thing is,
because Smash is an amazing game. Like, I physically cannot understand.
We already discussed that because I mostly do game.
It's so good.
At night after the wife goes to bed by myself, so I'm at the age where.
Well, you see, if Eroica here
You see,
would
we
buy
play
Wii
games
U
like
and
we had,
Smash,
you know, we
that
play
problem
different
would be fixed.
style of games.
Yeah,
you know,
and-
we've played Halo, we've played Far Cry, we've played a little Diablo. I mean,
And if all you did was like, so basically what you've been
Yeah.
telling me is when you play Smash Bros, you know, like when you play those old style FPS games where they have bots, like up to this point you've just been
missed that.
playing bots and expecting to get
no,
the
I mean,
same
I see what you're saying when I
that you
play
would
Smash
with other
with
people, and then you're criticizing.
my kid and her friend. I could see where that could be fun if you did have your friends over, but I'm not at that point in my life where I have friends over at 9 o'clock at night to play games. I mean, we are working adults that, you know, have kids, so it's not like I'm not. That's true.
Internet
But
and
I just
friends,
played.
I mean,
For me,
we're on here
like I
right
said,
now.
Yeah.
the last Smash game, the Wii was the first one I ever played, so that series never really got to me. So I don't really like Street Fighter. I don't like Street Fighter either. I'm not crazy about that. I downloaded the free PSN. What is it? Battle All Stars, which I know that flopped huge, but I even unpacked it. I just don't have the. That's free. That's just like I just don't have.
I guess my question, the reason I keep like pestering you on
Yes.
the forum is, so you bought this Wii U, right? Like, and then you're like, nah, I'm not
Well,
even.
I
gonna
got
try
Mario
these
Kart
games.
8.
Like,
I'm
why
really
the
excited for
hell
Chronicles
did
X.
you do that?
I'm saying that the Mario games don't do it for me anymore. They just don't.
And that's where I don't mean to like pile on you there, but you say
Yeah.
I don't like Mario games. I mean, you're
Well,
talking
let me preface
platformers,
it. The Mario
kart
Kart games
racers,
are good.
fighters, party games. Like it's a huge spectrum of games.
All right,
All of them. Say all of them, Heil. Be that guy. Say all of them.
I don't
No
like
shame.
Nintendo.
That's where I draw the line. I'm not going to say I dislike everything from a particular franchise, but like, I mean, I get what Heil's saying, but like, you know, and maybe in John, in your defense, I'm going to tell you that all franchises to me on every single platform I play run the risk of being tired and old, and me wanting to say, I'm all set here for a little while. Like, at the same respect that I look at Mario Kart and I say, that's not a game that I'm probably going to dump I'm not going to dump 60, 70, 80 hours into. I'm going to tell you at the same time that I don't feel that way about a Call of Duty game anymore. And I don't feel that way about Assassin's Creed anymore. Like, the evolution of these franchises needs to stay fresh on every console in order for me to keep buying into wanting to own those particular games. In Nintendo's case, I look at it and I say, all right, I've been there and I've done that with Smash Brothers, and it's not really, it didn't sink its hooks into me. I don't know if it will, and it's certainly not at this point anyways worth it for me to go out and buy the console to take that chance. I might get it down the road when I've always said that when the Wii U gets beneath $200, I'll start legitimately looking at, about picking one up. And, certainly things like the virtual console and stuff like that. Like, I keep my Wii active just so I can go play ActRaiser, every couple months. So, like, I get where there's the benefit in the console, but it's, in terms of the franchises, like, it's not just Nintendo, it's everything. Like, it was exciting to me to see the new Zelda game because Zelda looked, and I can't speak to its quality and what the end result's going to be, and if they're going to fuck it up or if it's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Personally, I'm done holding every Zelda game up against Ocarina of Time because I just think it's a fruitless search to try to, every single time a Zelda game comes out, we hold up Ocarina of Time and we go, is it as good as this? And I just don't think that that's fair. But looking at Zelda this time around, at that unveiling, I looked at it and I said, you know what, this game looks different. It looks rejuvenated. It looks exciting in its scope, and even some of the elements, like every time every time Link hopped off of Epona in slow mo and took those dudes out, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like, I can't wait to do that. But Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, I don't feel the same way about. I don't feel like I got enough of an evolution for me to go, oh yeah, I'm ready to jump into those and have that, sink in. Is that fair?
I think it is.
I'd say that's a fair stance to take, but again, I think if for most of these games that we're talking about, if you really actually, it's not going to be immediately obvious. Like,
sure,
this is a completely different game from Smash. Isn't going to change the formula just like that. It's the things like the way they changed edge grabbing and the item balance. Like, there's new stuff, and
Yeah.
you're gonna appreciate that the more you play the game.
Mm. So guys, moving on then. I want to introduce. We've got someone that we added to the call. We've got the Last Ride on right now. Last Ride, what's up, dude?
Hey, dude.
Your mic sounds great.
Yeah, it was just a connection. It wasn't the mic.
Nice. So you got anything to add in about Nintendo? Are you on Team Bash Nintendo, which is the club that Heil started, or are you on Team John that loves all things Nintendo?
I'm kind of I'm kind of neutral here because the Wii U has been kind of a slow start, but it's gotten some good games after a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they know how to do first party, but for my taste, it's been a little too slow. It's not that I hate them; it's just how I see things.
Nothing that's open in your wallet yet.
No, not for $700.
Yeah. How about, so then before we move topics then, is there anyone else that wants to make any last statement? We wanted to give our Nintendo fans a chance to rebuttal our awful, horrible things we were saying about Nintendo from a couple weeks ago.
Which hilariously, can we focus on this? Hilariously, Zas and Golden Element literally said the shit we said, except they said the nicer aspects. But bottom line, what was the point of our argument, Roika? It was that the Wii U doesn't play for primary real estate. It's the side bitch system because you need something else with that thing. But when we say it, we're haters.
It's all about presentation. It's all about your presentation, son.
If we're saying if we're saying the same bottom line, I don't see why he's like. I will go to hell and back and say Nintendo makes games the way I love games being made. They are gameplay first. The story can either be non-existent or they say fuck it. And I'm cool with that. I love gameplay designed games first.
Absolutely.
Nintendo is an absolute treasure. I bought the Wii U specifically to play Bayonetta 2 a year in advance, but Wonderful 101 was good. So I am all for when they make a good game. Metroid is the shit. Mario can still make a great game. All we said was they're dead last from a library standpoint because they miss out on this ridiculous artillery of games that the other systems.
Not even.
So I mean, yeah, Heil is apparently a hater, which whatever. God forbid Heil if Heil just didn't give a shit about the things Nintendo made because it's unheard of to have an opinion.
Okay.
You know. You're Naughty Dog. Their games aren't that good, but Nintendo,
I'm not even questioning the quality of them.
Ever made is
the first party is just not grabbing.
We got to talk about Uncharted 4.
Fuck that, Heil. Own it, Heil. Own it. At this point, buy into the character. Just go full heel.
My problem is you can't go after Nintendo
because
they make the same game over and over again. And when we've had how many Uncharted's, we had 3 Mass Effects in one generation. We get one Smash a generation. We get 1 or maybe 2 Mario Karts, if you count the handhelds.
I mean, you say that, but what happens when it's a guy like me and Eroica who give no fucks what franchise it is? When you're on your 3rd entry, we're both going,
I watched
why did
this
you make another
podcast
one?
last week when people were, they're gushing from Dragon Age or talking about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, way to gush over Dragon Age, Eroica.
Not me. I wasn't gushing over Dragon Age.
It might have been Dragon Age, but I mean, they're talking about Assassin's Creed. I mean, people were bringing up games for Game of the Year, and
way to gush over Assassin's Creed, Eroica.
We've seen how many of these games in one generation, and that's okay. But if Nintendo, has been making the same game since '85, but they do one a generation, it's a crime all of a sudden. That's what I don't get.
Golden Element, I'm going to give you a point on that. That fact with the idea that I can't speak for Champ, but for me, I do buy every Assassin's Creed game. I'll tell you that Unity is it'll be my last for a little while. I have no interest in the London one. Like I get why it's neat, Jack the Ripper and all the other stuff, and I'm sure it's going to probably be the first Gen 8 Assassin's Creed game that actually runs properly. And yes, that is a dig. And I'm sure that there's going to be the same Assassin's Creed feel to it, but I'm not going to buy it because it's going to be the same Assassin's Creed feel. I guess I'd rather spend, 60 large on another franchise, on a new game. And plus, I got to be honest with you, and I don't know if you guys have played this yet, but Shadow of Mordor is better than Assassin's Creed as it stands right now.
Got it under my tree right now. I want it so bad.
Yeah, I don't know if you got I'm assuming you got the PS4.
Yeah.
Nemesis.
Okay. Because that's got the what's it called system in it. Nemesis system.
Nemesis. Yeah.
But Shadows of Mordor, I just finished Unity and I went back to Mordor because I didn't finish Mordor yet, and I'm sitting there playing that game going, this is new IP. I mean, obviously it's built off of an existing, world, but this is new IP. It's got an incredible emphasis on combat and thinking 2-3 steps ahead of, the group of people that you're fighting. It's got a really, and I don't know who put it the other way. Maybe it was Blabadon, but in our last podcast. But the Nemesis system is a next gen idea. Where you've got these things that are out in this open map that you're affecting, and they could disappear and return and know who you are. And there's a reason why the Nemesis system isn't on last gen consoles, because it's a next gen idea. And to have a game like that up against Assassin's Creed, which I know what that game is going to feel like, I know what that game is going to look like, I know what it's going to play like, I know exactly what the side missions are going to feel like, because as Golden Element just said, Ubisoft is not really taking any chances. It's the same game that's released every single year with a new campaign on it. Where I guess I'm willing to give you a point is, you're right, I do subscribe to that franchise, but I'm at a point now where I'm saying I'm saturated. I don't want to play these games at least for a couple more years. So
for you,
I don't know.
Right?
Mass Effect 4 excites me, though, because we've dropped the original trilogy and we're on to something new. Do I want more games in that amazing universe? Abso-fucking-lutely. I want games in that universe for the rest of my gaming life. But I like the fact that we're not talking about Commander Shepard anymore. I love the fact that we're not. You know how big of a Garrus fan I am. I'm glad that we're. You can giggle.
What?
Yeah, really? But like, I'm excited that we're getting away. And you know what? It's up to BioWare to prove that they can create more compelling characters and another compelling setting in this rich universe that has a lot of stories to tell. So yeah, in a way, I am excited for Mass Effect 4 because of the reason that I'm getting more Mass Effect in that universe. But I want the game to be different.
I have played some of the same Sony games and Microsoft games, and I've grown tired of those, like Gears of War. I haven't even bothered playing the last one with rental. I didn't finish the last God of War because I kind of lost interest because I finished 3 prior to that, and then 3 didn't compare to 1 and 2. When I heard, like I said, when I heard they're making a new one, it's like, well, I might rent it, but I'm not excited. Whereas Uncharted, I'm sorry, I like that game. I like that style of game. I'm gonna buy Uncharted 4. I'm gonna buy the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I think I can speak for Champ when I say this too, because I feel like him and I are very similar in our tastes as far as like what strikes us as being like, wow, that's a really fucking awesome game. There is no gaming character or story or universe that I love enough that I want the game to be beaten to death. I'm a new IP guy. I'm a guy that when a new set of consoles come out, I'm excited not because I'm playing on new hardware. I'm excited because I want the new ideas, I want the new settings and the new stories and the new video games. I want the new stuff. I don't want to go too deep into franchises because game narratives are not really at a point where anyone's telling a story that I need to hear in those universes. I mean, Assassin's Creed story, anybody? Does anyone have anything positive to say?
And I mean, I feel bad for the new IP guys.
Go ahead. Yeah. Golden Element, go ahead.
I feel bad for the new IP guys because the way the industry is going now, we're not going to get a whole lot of those. It's either it's a sure bet or it's going to be an indie game. The AAA multi-plat market is dying. It's either console makers funding the games or it's going to go indie. I mean, we're going to get Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Madden, NBA, and then everything else.
And that's the beauty of the indie scene.
But there's going to be...
That's what makes the indie scene so beautiful.
There's going to be new IPs.
Shovel Knight would not happen
we're going to have,
from any of that. I mean, that's
Scalebound.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna for Sony. We're gonna have the Order, and you can, the people
Break, Scalebound, anything Platinum makes. Bloodborne.
I mean,
Well, there's
so
gonna be more
you've
than one
named one.
each.
You've named one each, and if those console makers didn't pick up those games, they wouldn't happen. I mean, we wouldn't have Sunset Overdrive or Bayonetta 2. I mean,
Right.
really?
Battleborn.
Do you think so?
Well, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
safe to
if,
make
and if
it
those
number
games
4
are hits,
edition of a
and by hits, I
well-selling
mean
game, so
selling
that's the
like
vicious
5
cycle
million
we're in.
copies
But
or more, there
I'm a
probably
little bit
won't be a
different than
sequel.
Assassin's Creed with than Heroic is because I skipped
Right.
the first whatever till Black Flag. I tried the first 2 and got bored, never finished them. But Black Flag I thought was amazing, so I'm playing Unity right now, and I think it's great.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, I think we need to understand that they're not making games for anybody in this chat right now. I mean, we're all hardcore gamers, and they're not making games for us. They're making games for the casual market that
That's a
they'll
good
see
call.
a commercial and they're going to buy that, or it's something they've heard, word of mouth. So,
That's a good call.
I mean, what we want and what they're making are two different things. So,
Yep.
I mean, it sucks, but that's the way it's going.
Last Ride, how do you feel about that?
About the AAA,
Yeah, just like where we're talking about these sequels and new IP versus new IP. Where do you stand with that? And then I want to hear from Zasmic.
well, I like new ideas more than I don't really buy the yearly titles. I bought Black Flag last year on launch, but that's pretty much it when it came to a yearly title. I bought Shadow of Mordor and even Watch Dogs. Those are new IPs. To say what you like about them, but they're at least nothing rehashed or unoriginal in that sense.
Okay, how about Zasmic? New IP, or are you happy getting sequels?
The easiest answer would be I'm okay. I want a good mix of both, and I know that's the easiest answer. But honestly, new IPs are exciting. They're fresh. They bring new ideas and everything. But sometimes those new IPs could just be a new coat of paint over an existing game, like we've seen in past generations before. I'm always excited when I get a new IP. Not always. I mean, Assassin's Creed Victory was announced, and I'm sitting here like, I haven't played Unity, but
You didn't even fix your last game.
I know exactly. So I mean, but a good IP should be timeless. It should be what you know while taking risks. There are new Batman comics coming out all the time. I'm a big Batman fan, and as long as the stories are taking risks, like the New 52 has been with Scott Snyder, I'm down with that. It's doing some really cool stuff, and games should be that way. If they're going to be releasing these new IPs, they need to be taking a lot more risks. They need to have a reason to be made aside from just the yearly rehashes like Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty. They need to look at what drives these games. And I think when developers look at the IPs like that, I think we'll get better results. And so hands down, I'd be like all over releasing sequels to IPs all the time if they focus on that. Like what we're seeing with Batman series, Arkham Knight, from Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. It's a good evolution, it feels like. Yeah. And so I'm so excited. Like you are with Mass Effect. Mass Effect 4 probably is going to be huge. It's going to be very different from what I hope from what Mass Effect 3 was. And Mass Effect 3 was pretty different from Mass Effect 2. 3 was my favorite one because the combat just felt so good in that game.
I love 3 too. It gets shit on, but I love it.
Yeah, I love it, and I was a fan of the ending of that game, despite all the haters. But that was a series that did evolve in I feel, a good way. You get Assassin's Creed, it's not evolving enough, and so I haven't even checked out Unity, despite having all the other games and loving them. But but I will not hate on new IPs. That there's excitement that comes with them.
And not to get back on Mass Effect, but Heil and I, when we chat about IPs, he always brings up Mass Effect because he knows how much I like it. But like I look at Mass Effect 4 and I say, what are the things that they've announced about Mass Effect 4? The biggest thing they've announced is the return of the Mako. The Mako was something that was on Mass Effect 1. It was abandoned in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. Now I am the one person who loved the Mako. All right. I loved it. For hours I tried to flip the thing on the moon. I could never do it. But neither here nor there, Mass Effect 4 is the return of the Mako. That to me is drawing from the past, saying we funneled an open game into, I don't want to say a corridor RPG, but really a game that was a shooter action RPG that was really on rails. There was not a lot of, exploration in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. Now, granted, in Mass Effect 2, you were going to places that were really compelling and helping characters that you really liked, and that was really the magic of those games. But seeing things like the Mako come back for Mass Effect 4 to me is like, all right, they're taking a previous idea. They're obviously going to retool it. They obviously have tons of feedback from fans and critics alike about what went wrong with that. Hopefully they'll put, maybe I'm just wishing, but maybe they'll put that back in the game in a more compelling way to make Mass Effect 4 feel like something that Mass Effect 3 and 2 were not. So, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to get back on the whole Mass Effect thing. In fact, I want to move the topic, but I don't know. I'm all about new IP. I'm all about, like Champ said, gameplay first and keeping things fresh new ideas. Developers that are hungry to make new things for people. And the indie scene is like where I see that right now. And hopefully AAA can get back to it. But
to bring up some of the,
I don't know. Kyle, what do we want to talk about next? We want to talk about the mighty flop, or you would yeah.
Oh yeah, so the flop is the metagame system.
You've been on this topic, so I want to know. You lay it out for us.
I guess for the bragging rights amongst your fellow GameSpot users, System Wars users, why do some people get so upset when their game flops? I know I had some fun with it before you all with Captain Toad, but a flop is a flop. I mean, you can't deny that. But with the recent event, there's been so many. I can't even count. I think for this last year, I played more flops than I have games that met their flop. So, but there's a certain case, even like when, they say I'm a Sony fan, but I don't see definitely how they get that. But when The Last of Us flopped last year, I just said, oh no, what am I going to do? And I went and played the game. So, and I thought it was a great game. So, but why do some people get so worked up? We're going to start with Champ. Have you ever gotten really hurt that the game has flopped?
No, because I'm an adult. The whole flop thing is, I mean, let's not even say that's tied to just GameSpot. How many times have you read on any other site? Eurogamer gave Uncharted 3 too low of a score because they called it out for being super cinematic and linear and gave it a 7 out of 10, which on their website means a good fucking game, right? Like, let's keep that going because I don't want to go back to a podcast we already had. I believe it was your podcast. We talked about reviews when I had all my guys over, but it's like, gaming scores have been inflated for so long. This is the one medium where if you go to Metacritic, you get a 60-something as a film. That is green. You did amazing because critics for films are this crazy thing.
Yeah, they're brutal.
Critics, they're brutal. They hold films down. They punish films for having unoriginal ideas. Games? I mean, yeah, you just did the same thing we've been seeing for a decade. 8 out of 10. Excuse me, that would not fly in a film. That would not fly in a book, but it flies in games. We still give bonus points if a game works, when in reality, a game should be eviscerated. Not docked a point. No. Obliterated off the goddamn map for daring to launch broken, right? And we're like, why are people surprised by flops? That's part of the reason, in my opinion. We've trained people to believe anything below a 9 is shit. Because really think about some of the greatest games. Not all of them scored below 9. A lot of them scored 9 or better because it's like unheard of. Like usually when a game got an 8, it was the underwhelming game for a long time.
I had fun with
God forbid it got
Rise,
7. That's an average game.
I bought Knack too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas
Mario Kart flopped. Actually got an 8. The 3DS version of Smash flopped. So I mean,
yeah,
Microsoft had its.
But but then think about some of the like wildly loved films. Die Hard. That game did well critically, but it's not batting some 90. In fact, I believe if you look up Roger Ebert, one of the most rest in peace, one of the more well-known critics in film, he completely shat on that film. Like people have done that to Lord of the Rings. People have done that to $1 Million Baby or Matchstick Men, or I don't think anyone shat on The Godfather because they knew better. But you get what I'm saying? Like there was in other mediums, there seems to be an actual range of opinions. So people were able to handle it and
says,
just
well, yeah, Die Hard
say, you know what? I don't give a fuck about critic opinions.
The Expendables sucks
I'm gonna
more,
go watch
and
what
it's
I
on
want to watch.
Sony Pictures instead of Universal. What about that?
That's the other element that's not in film. In film, there's no one gives a shit about whose DVD player is better. Like, you know what I mean? No one cares about which one is DVD exclusive. In gaming, this like everything is about the console war, down to like, and it'd be one thing if it was just the internet, right? Like, because if the internet's doing it, that's fine. But we have the gaming media that like celebrates this shit. They live to do Xbox versus PlayStation. So they'll like Digital Foundry has made buckets of cash off of just doing the lamest pixel hunt of all time, which is just putting footage of a game. Like, they sincerely do not give that much of a fuck about how good a game looks. But they will sell it like they give all the fucks in the world because they know they got the easiest hits in the world just now.
They're just catering to their audience. I mean, they see that the comment section, that's what people want to talk about. So
you're using the word catering to their audience, and I would argue that's the politically correct way of putting it. Really, what they're doing is they're taking advantage of a bunch of saps. I mean, maybe
if their audience is a bunch of saps, then yes, you're right.
Okay, then all right, then we agree. Because in this case, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, that's
some people
to me, that's
so yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But, like,
Angry Joe, Total Biscuit. I mean, their audience is
they're all playing the
same
saps.
thing to me.
Yeah, once you get your saps, like what we just did, like your saps are the people that get offended when you say something negative about Nintendo. So what did you do? You got someone on to defend Nintendo, and you made sure Champ was free today, so he could say something negative about Nintendo to take advantage of them, right? Like we all do this game. Let's not act like we're above it. I'm just saying.
It's all about presentation.
Yeah, it's all about presentation. Thank you, Zess.
You're welcome.
But, like, bottom line is, I feel like gamers just have this annoying habit of not being able to handle an opinion, because part of it is we trained our audience to be like, hey, anything below an 8 is shit. And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be shit.
I think it's more has to do with gamers try to identify themselves with a company. Like, people that are Sony fans, you say anything negative about Sony, it's like a personal attack towards them. So they get all crazy. I mean, there's tons of users on System Wars that are like that. I mean, you could have like something that is a legitimate, negative against a company. If you say that on System Wars, they'll lose their mind. They'll call you an idiot, this and that, or whatever. So,
how could you?
So let me ask you guys this. And I want to welcome Blabadon to the call. What's up, Blab?
What's up, guys? Keep going.
Okay. Carry on. What did Blab always say? Continue.
Continue.
I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Shit. Oh, the metagame. So, I don't know when all of your start dates were on GameSpot, but does anybody here that's in the call not know, was anyone not around when the metagame was actually tracked and kind of respected and followed?
My 10th birthday is in 4 days at GameSpot, so big deal.
Okay, so you've been around.
I've been around 10 years as well.
Yeah,
already did 10 as well.
Okay, so then we've and I'm assuming that part of what Heil's getting at here with the question about the flop, and maybe I'll go to In Before You All next, but we've seemingly come to a place where the metagame on the actual System Wars board is not really paid attention to anymore, because it's easier to be, when you're butthurt, to crawl over to a website that has a review score that you like and holding that up on Mount Gaming Olympus to say, look at, my game got a 10 over here on IGN. I don't give a shit about your 8 over on GameSpot, which directly conflicts with what we all know as the metagame score, metagame being the way we judge flops is against the GameSpot score. So John, In Before You All, is System Wars cheapening itself? Are we lessening the fun that we could have by running off like little bitches with skin knees to try to find the example that we can hold up that says, no, my game that I really love is quality despite what GameSpot says? Or should people, and I think this is what Heil's getting at, should people just shut up and accept when their game flops? When Mass Effect got an 8.5, I bitched. I bitched and I was crazy, and then I went to sleep and I woke up and said, okay, it's time to be a
I mean,
human.
really, let's talk about the real flop you didn't take very well, because you were a bit of a girl about this one. You ready for this one?
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead. I'm going to let you say it.
DuckTales. I mean, he cried for DuckTales.
I'm still pissed about DuckTales. A 4, dude? That fucking game's way too good to be a 4. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I bitched about it a little bit, but then like, you know, it's all for fun. But then, you know, I didn't run off to IGN and say, well, look, I got a 7 on IGN, or look at over here, it got an 8, or, you know, Nintendo Power gave it a fucking 9.5. Like, you know, I didn't do that because that's kind of lame.
Yes.
So should System Wars kind of wake up to the tune of being like, hey, there's actually a kind of a fun metagame we can play? John, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that the metagame is what used to make System Wars fun. It's kind of gone downhill a little bit. But, yeah, I'd say I agree with that. I believe that when Heil said that several times that called out several users, including myself.
Oh, here we go.
For being upset over, I believe it was Captain Toad. I wasn't butthurt about the flop. I don't. Whatever. It was mainly a joke, and that's not an excuse or anything. Like, whatever. I was just annoyed that Heil. You'd think that frickin' Uncharted 4 got an 11 out of 10 on GameSpot. How he carried on, like. I just haven't seen somebody go at it like that in.
Hey, I mean,
so
my rebuttal to that is,
is that what you're saying?
Whatever I did compared to
it annoyed me.
Sony or Microsoft.
The 10-year theme
Sony or
on
Microsoft
System Wars,
flop thread, and it's not even close. Why does Nintendo get a pass on the I don't know, the jolly ribbing that we give in System Wars? Why should they get a pass on that? You guys are representing though.
There's no sheep left. That's the only reason that happens. There's like 2. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Did you see when Bayonetta got like a 10? It was like over in like 2 days. The thread didn't get over like 1,000 posts.
If that was a Naughty Dog game, we would still be hearing about it.
Let's be fair here.
Let's be like, we got the 10 out of 10 first.
Hey, wait, time out.
Go ahead.
Let's be fair here. That's because the Sony people on our forum are actually big Naughty Dog cum guzzlers, whereas the Nintendo fanboys that were basically Bayonetta bandwagon hoppers because that franchise was irrelevant to them when the 360 version was the best version of that game to play. All of a sudden, the sequel gets a 10. It's like, whoa, we loved Platinum all this time. It's like, you didn't give a shit about their games before?
You're talking about like 4 or 5 people, though. That's the difference.
I congratulated it.
Like, how many people really cared about Bayonetta scoring a 10? There weren't that many people out
Me
there.
and Freedom Freak.
I'm just saying.
We were all about that.
If it had happened with Master Chief Collection or something like that, if that had gotten a 10, the Lems would never let us hear the end.
Look at when The Last of Us got an 8.
I thought the Rise
that was the last time this board was really set on fire. There were all kinds of people just lost their damn minds because that game flopped in System Wars. Yeah, The Last of Us
was huge.
And honestly, The Last of Us 1 was pedestrian.
And there were
maybe because I'm speaking from the Twilight Princess days when a flop. That was a flop. That was.
I think that was called the Exodus of the Sheep. Isn't that what they call it?
I think the Exodus happened when you crybabies couldn't let go that Skyward Sword actually sucks.
But I like Skyward Sword.
Golden Element, you were trying to finish up a point. We all jumped in. Go ahead.
To me, the point where people stopped embracing the flop was with The Last of Us. I mean, that's when you saw so many people jumping to Metacritic all of a sudden saying, hey, this game scored an 8 here. GameSpot, you can't trust them. They don't know what they're talking about. This game has a 90 whatever average on Metacritic. And that's, to me, like, I started calling people out in that hype thread saying, hey, you know, what about the metagame? Those aren't the rules here. And everyone's like, oh, I don't listen to, you know, GameSpot scores. I fight mods on this. And there's one
and there's always
cow
the
in particular that was I'm not gonna name any names. Just go ahead.
And
the
then
guy
there's
my gears on this board is all I'm gonna say.
There's the people who'll be like, oh, I don't look at other sites, or I don't look at numbers and reviews. I play games. And it's like, yeah, but this is System Wars. Like, you can try and be that way, but that's not what we're here for. Like,
gotta follow the rules.
I don't.
Let's flop. The rules changed.
I mean, again,
If
then
we-
I want
if
to
we
wait.
went-
No, you go. Blair.
If we went by the metagame, the 3DS would be the worst system of all time. So see what you say. One AAA game on GameSpot. Only one.
Which one is it?
The 3DS. Link Between
No.
Worlds.
Okay, that's right.
didn't Fire Emblem also have a 9?
No, hell
No,
no.
that
no.
ain't it.
And I tell everyone
Really?
this. The Vita is better than the 3DS. Only one AAA.
Yeah,
As compared
on
to
System
4.
Wars.
Can you guys hear me?
Sadly,
Oh, Animal Mother has joined us. What's up, Animal?
Not much.
He's
I just
calling
got,
us. How do you
I
think
just
it
got
went,
out of a
champ?
date.
You're
how'd it go? How'd it go?
Wait,
Not
who is
well
who
if he's
that?
here.
everyone's here.
No, Animal. How'd it go?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. He could have got his dick sucked. Did you get your dick sucked?
Oh,
No, I'm a gentleman, and a gentleman never tells.
No, but seriously,
You
when
just
this
said no.
podcast ends, you're gonna tell us, right?
No, the date went well. It was very nice. It was with a lovely
nice.
lady.
Where'd you eat?
We went to the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh man, you went to my old stomping grounds. Did you get dessert?
Yes, of course, of course.
Right,
We
right. So
got-
what'd you get?
I got the
Cheesecake.
Yes, I got the.
Yeah, but they have like a billion cheesecakes. It's
I
actually
got
annoying.
I got the Snickers cheesecake.
Oh, were you one of those? Wait, time out. This annoyed me because I used to work there. Were you one of those assholes that honestly asked your waiter to recite the entire dessert menu?
No.
Oh.
I can read. I have eyeballs.
No. But you understand,
All
like
right,
if you did
thank
ask
you,
him to do it,
movement.
he has to be able to do it on the spot.
No, I'm not a dickhole champ. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that's whatever. You say that,
so,
but
so everything went well. Was it a love connection? Will we be seeing having another date there, Animal, or no?
There will be. I think there will be a third date. Yes.
Wow, a third date.
It's getting serious.
are you gonna make dinner in a movie this time, or is it gonna be like?
I don't know what I'm gonna do this time. I don't. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? Because
Go to
she's-
Applebee's.
Yeah, Applebee's.
Applebee's is a downgrade.
No, Jeff, it's chili.
Chili's,
All
guys.
right.
Oh,
Chili.
dude, their bottomless chips, man. Fucking love them. Keep going.
No, we're probably gonna go see the Christmas tree in New York City.
Oh, nice.
Ah, that's smooth right
Yeah,
there.
take
Get the
her
ice
out.
skating into.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's slick,
real,
Animal,
real
that's slick.
So, what games are we talking about?
We're on a whole nother topic, dude, and your sound sounds like you are driving a fucking moped down city traffic.
Oh, because I am. I decided to call in right after my date because I just had to chime in on Pedal to the Metal,
Yes.
the world's greatest podcast.
Wow.
The number one
Uh,
podcast for a BBC.
Did we talk? Yeah. Did we talk about BBCs anymore?
We did well.
The BBC Music Awards are on tonight. I just want to say that.
Isn't
That's
it the
awesome.
BBW? No, not BBW. Jesus. What is the
Do not say it, Animal. Do not say it, Animal. Don't say BBC. He really did mean BBC, as in the British channel.
Oh! I thought he was talking about the BETs.
No, not. Oh God,
No, he
Same
wasn't
thing,
a
same
racist
thing.
about it, you idiot.
that could have gone places.
They both start with B, so
So naturally.
naturally we're talking about the big black cop.
So so Animal, we're gonna skip over you because it sounds like you're driving, but
Well, I'm gonna cut out. I at least wanted to get in on the podcast a little bit.
yeah, no, we're happy that you checked in and told us how your date went.
Oh yeah, no, it went smooth.
And we have two first timers tonight. We've got Golden Element XL on tonight. And we've got Zasmic on tonight.
I like Zasimic. I've always wanted to speak with him. Zasimic, you're really
Screw
fucking
Golden Elemental.
Yeah, fuck
Golden
you.
Elemental. You can go suck a cock for all I care.
All right.
Wait, honestly, Animal, I kind of think Golden Elemental's voice could give your voice a run for its
Yeah,
money.
dude, he's got the.
It is.
Smooth.
He's
It
got
is
the
like
butt-
if he was singing some Barry White right now, you would have got some. You needed him to be singing some Barry White. That's
Golden
that's
Elemental.
what your date needed.
Really quick, Golden Elemental. Give it to me. Lay it on me.
I can't do it right now. Maybe next podcast. We'll see. Me and you have to talk because you were acting a clown on the last one, drinking a little too much. It was at Jack Daniels.
Oh,
You weren't
listen,
handling your shit very well. So I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna push the eject button on Animal the next time he does that.
yeah,
well, listen. We all had fun though, right?
We did.
it was
No,
fun to
yeah.
listen to.
Yeah.
What?
So You and I need to go drink for drink and then have a conversation. And then...
Oh, good God, that's not going to go well. That's a whole separate. That's called pedal to the metal drunk tank.
He'll show YouTube where you slept if you do that.
I think System Wars would enjoy that. So
yeah.
Hey, listen, man. People enjoy that kind of shit. They want that slice of life. Right there.
Exactly.
Animal's just a man of the people. He's just trying to put on a show.
That's it.
And he does. All right, so Animal Man, we're gonna say goodbye to you. Have a good, safe drive home. And
I'm at the supermarket to buy cookie dough for my sister. What the fuck am I doing?
That's amazing. That's awesome.
I'm probably gonna buy.
What kind of cookie dough?
I don't know, Nestle.
But like chocolate chip, right? Like, cause there's no other option.
He doesn't know. Goodbye, Animal.
Bye, guys.
Bye forever.
Pedal to the metal forever.
Goodbye forever.
So what were we talking about?
We were talking about embracing the flop. So did anyone not get a chance to last ride? What is your feeling about it? Do you even care about the scores? Do you care about the metagame last ride?
I mean, in the end of it all, what should matter is it good for you? I mean, you said you like Assassin's Creed, but even if it got a low score, but it played perfectly, would you really care?
I mean, Assassin's Creed games have been fun. They're great. So yeah, I don't really care what an Assassin's Creed game scores, but I'm not going to buy the next one.
Yeah, but if it had, let's say, Assassin's Creed 2, probably the best one, everyone says.
That one in Brotherhood, definitely.
Yeah, and if that would have gotten like a 3, would you have cared?
No, I would have still played it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you have to trust your own judgment. Don't base it off someone else's judgment.
Right.
Because I mean, it's fun discussing it on the forum, but at the end of the day, it's got to be your own judgment deciding what you buy and vote with your wallet.
So Blabadon, because we haven't really addressed anything to you yet, is there a way that this is a System Wars question? I know you're observant of the goings on with the board. Is there a way that we can recover the metagame, or is it dead?
It's dead. Please, we're gonna get the System Wars awards back before we get the metagame back.
We can do it.
Can't do it. We can't do it.
There's too many people then that take advantage of the game, that ignore the original Metacritic, or I'm sorry, the metagame rules in order to suit their own needs, and until that completely stops, we're fucked as far as metagame's concerned.
Yeah, it's hard, especially with all these remasters and everything coming out. I mean, what was it, 7 years ago, the discussion was MLB truly an exclusive to the PS3? Now it's all sorts of remasters and all that jazz. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
It's not coming back.
Does it have to, though? Like,
no.
Because here's the thing I'm thinking is, like, why is no one willing to just accept the reality, like, we've evolved past the metagame at this point? Like, at this point, I think the people that have stuck around with System Wars are also at that point where, like, I'm kind of too old to be calling you a farm animal. Like, I would rather be condescending and dick and say you're cum guzzlers than call you a farm animal, right? Like, I'd rather...
It's far more
accurate. Thank you, Zaz. Yeah. Anyway, I like Zaz. He backs me up on things. Unintentionally. Right. Anyway, but, like, the other thing is, like, I think there's people on System Wars that are just, like, we're not looking... Like, we're putting on the negative side, which is just the people that, like, try to bypass the game and only play the game when it's, like, convenient to them. But there's also people on the forum that are just, like, man, it is so stupid to compare these games as AAA-E, quadruple-A-E, because while I may find Bayonetta to be absolutely the game of this year and easily wiping the floor with the rest of the games this year, there are people on that forum that would easily go, man, I couldn't give two shits about Bayonetta.
Mm.
And why are they wrong? Like, we just established that you and Hyle could give two less shits for Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, and those are well-received games. I mean, Smash Brothers batting, what is it on Metacritic? 91, 92? Something really positive, right?
Yeah.
Low 90s, yeah.
Yeah. But so like, it's doing low 90s, got another 9. But if you're just one of those people that are like, I grew up on Street Fighter and Guilty Gear. That's a fighting game to me. What Smash Brothers is just a little too easy, and I don't care for it. Are you wrong in that case? I don't think so. That's just what you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you deem to be a better game. If that's cool, then why are we acting like I think we're at a point where the flop, the hyping, and the metagame isn't what it should be. Like,
right.
We're playing by old rules. Like, if we want to talk about real flops, though, I think The Last of Us felt like a legitimate flop regardless of hype score. Because that score was such an outlier. Like, that's what made it a flop. Like, who gives a fuck if someone hyped it? Because the System Wars PlayStation fans could have just been cheap and said, oh, we're hyping it AA. But if it's still got an 8.0 after, like, all those 90s it was getting, that's a flop.
Well, hey,
like,
last question.
Look at every Sony exclusive since then. Everything is an AAE. Nobody hypes above an 8 on this board anymore.
And listen,
pusses.
Hey, listen. If if Halo comes out and it gets under a 9, I don't care what the hype score is. This is the flagship franchise.
Absolutely.
This is a franchise that has scored nothing but 9s since its inception.
Yep.
How dare you say it's not a flop when it's scoring below superb? Because this is the standard this franchise set.
Absolutely.
Likewise, I don't care if the Nintendo fans on System Wars decide Zelda is going to flop. Like, they all say it's going to flop. That does not invalidate the fact that a Zelda comes out and gets a 4. That's a flop because it's Zelda. It's not supposed to get this.
We'll get all 4 of them together and then let them determine what's a flop or not.
We got 2 of them in the cast. We just need who else? We need Char and a couple other guys.
Kazno Mary. Oh, Pink Maniac.
Shinobi Shy Guy.
Oh, we want to talk about people who does not handle flops very well. Shinobi Shy
Guy.
Jesus Christ. That guy acts like a 70-year-old Southern woman who goes to church every day. When Nintendo flops, it's basically like Kevin Van Orde literally just shot the Pope. That is how he reacts when a Nintendo game flops. It is insane.
Still not the worst. Still not the worst on this board.
I mean, Tormentos is special, but like I feel like
my first count would be,
I would say the worst is by far Texas Gold Rush. There doesn't even need to be a score.
Oh yeah, no, he
loves BioWare.
BioWare, man.
He loves BioWare. Yeah, we got some special personalities on there. I haven't seen Eddie Vedder in a while. I miss him. I don't know. Anyways, so moving
down guy, if Vita game does well, Jesus.
Yeah, you never hear the end of it.
If a Vita game does well, sometimes they let him out of the mental institution.
I liked his 999 thread that he made the other day.
Oh yeah, happy
I think
birthday.
that's pretty good. He satisfied you before you ordered you. Got anything else you wanted to say?
All right, so Hyle, what do we think? Is it time to wrap up?
My thing is you shouldn't over or underhype them either, and if you do, you gotta be prepared for a flop. You shouldn't bring other games
before
in.
you fall on the flop? I want to. We started with him.
And move on.
Well, the fun of playing the meta game, and I don't want to.
It's being able to compare.
Yeah. And well, of course, and you've got the point for point care, and back to what Champ was saying about like, I don't care about Smash Brothers, and I grew up playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcade. I mean, that's how I played fighters when I was a kid. So like, for me, like, you know, Smash is a game that I recognize. I love the fact that it gets good scores because, like, in Before You All just said, that's comparable to the other libraries of the other consoles, but it doesn't mean that I've still got to care about that game getting a 9 or a 9.5 or whatever it gets. So, I don't know. I'd love to see some type of a metagame type of respect, but like you guys said, I mean, gaming has evolved as what it is from Gen 6 to Gen 7 into Gen 8 now. I don't know that we could ever, pull in the reins. It's like the fucking cattle have all, like, just dispersed. Like, there's no rounding them up anymore. It's just there's too many.
What do you mean? They're all on GameSpot.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That's true. There you go. Yeah, we're talking one now, Hyle. Anyways, I think we're good. It's time to get out of here, Hyle. What do you think? All right, cool. We want to thank everyone to be on the show. I'm going to start with our two noobs tonight. We got Zasimic and Golden Element XL. Guys, thank you sincerely for being on the show. We hope you'll come on again.
You have always left me satisfied and smiling.
Excellent, and enjoy your BBC when we release the cast. Want to say thanks. Want to say thanks to the Last Ride for being on, and the Last Ride stays up late because he's over in Europe. So what time is it there for you right now?
Let me check. It's almost 5 a.m.
Whoa, 5
late. That's early.
That is early. So thank you, dude, for being on. Always nice to have you on the show. I want to say thanks to Blabadon for being on. Blab, what's up, man?
Everyone, please go play 999. I need a third version. Support Axis, please.
5 years. And we want to say thanks to In Before You All. John, thanks, dude, for being on.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, man, always good to talk with you. And obviously,
thanks for joining.
JG4X Champ, otherwise known as Champ. Thanks,
good
dude, for
rest
being
of year.
on.
Look forward to 2015 and some
nice. And
new
I'm gonna
games.
kick it over to Heil to get us out of
thanks
here.
to all for joining. We'll talk to you later.
Later.